Behind me is the monument dedicated to the Swiss mercenaries who were killed during the French Revolution. As you can see, there's a lot of people here because it's one of the main tourist sites in the city. The Lion of Lucerne is a popular tourist attraction, situated on top of a hill just outside the old city of Lucerne in Switzerland. A historical background. Swiss mercenary soldiers had a long tradition since the military success of the Swiss troops against the Counts of Habsburgs and Duke Charles the Bold of Burgundy in the 15th century. Recruiting, equipping, and instructing mercenary soldiers and sending them to the service of the French kings and Italian dukes was big business for patrician families in central Switzerland. But in the age of Reformation, Swiss church reformer Huldrych Zwingli, who had been campaigning in northern Italy as a military chaplain, challenged the institution, undermining a major source of income of influential families, as well as giving up a major field of occupation for young men in a peripheral region. The church received fierce resistance. This issue might have been the essential reason why central Switzerland did not join the church reform and stayed with the traditional Catholic belief. The dispute finally led to the two civil wars in Switzerland in 1529 and 1531. Zwingli himself was killed during the Second War. With the liberal modern Swiss Constitution of 1848, mercenary services in favor of foreign powers were declared a criminal offense, with the sole exception for the Swiss Guard at the Vatican. Prelude. From the early 17th century, a regiment of Swiss Guards had served as part of the royal household of France. On October 6, 1789, King Louis XVI had been forced to move with his family from the Palace of Versailles to the Tuileries Palace in Paris. In June 1791, he tried to flee to Montmedy near the frontier, where troops under royalist officers were concentrated. But by August 10, 1792, revolutionaries stormed the palace. Fighting broke out after the royal family had been escorted to take refuge with the Legislative Assembly. The Swiss Guards ran low on ammunition and were overwhelmed by superior numbers. A note written by the king half an hour after firing had survived, ordering the Swiss to retire and return to their barracks. Delivered in the middle of the fighting, this was only acted on after their position had become untenable. Around 760 of the Swiss guards defending the palace were killed during the fighting or massacred after surrender. An estimated 200 more died in prison of their wounds or were killed during the September massacres that followed. But this number is possibly too high, according to the late 20th century research. Though Swiss officers were mostly amongst those massacred. Among the Swiss guards in France who survived the insurrection and soldiers from disbanded Swiss line regiments, about 350 later joined the revolutionary armies of the French Republic, while others joined the counter-revolutionaries in the war in the Vendée. In 1817, the Swiss Federal Diet awarded a commemorative medal, Loyalty and Honor, to 389 of the survivors of the regiment. Aftermath and the Memorial. An officer of the Swiss Guards, Second Lieutenant Karl Pfeiffer von Alteshoffen, a descendant from the influential patrician family, happened to be at home on leave in Lucerne when his fellow soldiers were killed in Paris. After the times of revolution around 1815 and France as well as Switzerland had returned to conservative regimes, Piper felt obliged to commemorate his fellow soldiers and wrote a book detailing the regiment of Swiss Guards during the French Revolution. The reception was mixed, such as the accuracy of the number of victims. The count of 26 officers killed may be accurate, but the losses in the ranks are clearly exaggerated. Recent studies estimate that 300 guards were killed, not 760 as claimed in the description on the monument. But his book created a strong reaction throughout conservative circles in Switzerland, which motivated him to organize a public subscription to finance a commemorative monument. He began collecting money in 1818, primarily from European royal houses. He commissioned Danish sculptor Bertel Thorvaldsen to design the image and contracted stonemason Lucas Ahorn to fashion the monument in a former sandstone quarry near Lucerne. The monument is dedicated to the loyalty and bravery of the Swiss, carved into the cliff face. The monument measures 10 meters in length and 6 meters in height. The dying lion is portrayed impaled by a spear, covering a shield bearing the fleur-de-lis of the French monarchy. Beside him is another shield bearing the coat of arms of Switzerland. The inscription below the sculpture lists the names of the officers and gives the approximate numbers of soldiers who died, 760, and survived, 350. The work was completed in 1821. It immediately received a combination of praise, national pride, and public criticism, with some displeased that a monument was built to honor Swiss citizens dying for a foreign monarchy. The personification of Switzerland as a lion seemed to glorify a conservative counter-revolutionary mindset among Swiss liberals, some of whom even threatened to saw off one of the lion's paws in protest. Liberal politicians from all over the country disapproved of the memorial, but they were in a minority position during the 1820s, and Pfeiffer was backed by a majority in Lucerne. Finally, the Lion Monument was inaugurated on August 10, 1821. Originally, the site was in a private property until 1882, when the city bought it. It is accessible without an entrance fee and became a tourist attraction. Popular site. The controversy didn't prevent the lion from becoming one of Lucerne's major tourist attractions. The location, surrounded by a pool of water and English garden with the monument carved out of the rock, embodies the romantic sensibility of the time. The idea worked with tourists flocking to the site in the 19th century. Among them were notable artists and writers. Even Mark Twain described the lion as the most mournful and moving piece of stone in the world. But the lion continues to be controversial, as seen as a monument to the counter-revolution. The lion became a rallying point for extreme right-wing movements in the 1940s. This happened again in the period of 1989 to 1992, when a nationwide vote on Switzerland joining the European Economic Area created a stir. But up to this day, people flock the Lion of Lucerne, making it one of the most popular, or if not the most popular, attraction in the city. With a variety of souvenirs sold near the site, from keychains, mugs, and memorabilia. Its debatable conception and history is overshadowed by the powerful feeling it evokes through the craftsmanship of its creators, and us as tourists can only appreciate its beauty. Alright, until next time, don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. Bye! So guys, if you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel and feel free to comment.
Hit the bell, hit the bell, hit the bell, hit the bell. Come on guys, hit the bell.
For notifications.
And don't forget to share.
And like!